You are gearing up for Punjab University Law Entrance Exam for 2026. It's a tough one for sure. One of the most competitive out there. So, here's the secret. Cracking it isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. So let's decode this thing together, right? Let's start with the biggest headache of all. How in the world do you prepare for exam when the syllabus is so vague? It can feel like you're trying to study for a test that has a no rule book. But what if that even without a clear syllabus, there are patterns. There are predictable tracks the examiner sets every single year. Well, that's exactly what we are going to break down right now. Before we even get into a strategy, we have to talk. We have to talk about this number, negative 0.25. This little number changes everything. It's not just a test. Guys, it's a minefield. Every blind guess, I'm not sure about maybe, answer can literally pull your score down. So your mission isn't just to find the right answer. It's to dodge that wrong ones. So to do that, you have got a game plan. First, we are going to crack the PU law code today. Then we'll expose the 4 main traps the examiners love to use. I'm going to split your prep into 2 game plans, memorizations and concepts. And finally, we'll get to ready master the actual MCQ battle on the exam day. Okay, so first things first. Before you jump into studying, you have to understand this Punjab University battlefield. You need to know where the points are, where the traps are hidden, and where you should focus your energy. This is the foundation of a winning game, of a winning strategy. And right away, you can see it. Look at that massive chunk of pie, legal aptitude for sake. 40% for the 3-year law entrance and around 20 to 30% for the 5-year entrance. This section isn't just important. It's the undisputed kingmaker of this exam. While you can't ignore the other sections, mastering legal aptitude is absolutely non-negotiable. This is where the entire game exam is won or lost. And here's the secret weapon. The syllabus might be a mystery box, but the type of questions which are asked, they are incredibly predictable. It's like the examiners, they have a playbook and they use it year after year. So, what are we waiting for? Let's open this playbook and let's see what's inside it. This quote absolutely nails it. The exam isn't designed to just be a memory quiz. It's built to find out that one thing. You know what's that? Can you think like a lawyer? Each of the question types we're about to look at is a different test of that exact skill. So here they are, the 4 big plays of the examiner's playbook. You have got a direct recall. That's your classic memory test on articles, sections. Then, there are landmark judgments where they check if you know the big game-changing cases. Number 3, principal fact application. We all know that. And this is the real test of legal reasonings. We know, no? They give you a rule, they give you a story, and you have to figure out how they all connect. Finally, very important ones. You cannot ignore this. Legal current affairs, which is all about linking what is happening in the news right now so that you know the exact law. Okay, Now that we know what they are going to throw us at, we need to split our strategy into two different parts. Let's start with the first one, the memorization game. Look, for some part of the law, there's just no getting around it. You have to commit things to memory. Yes, that's true. But the real trick is knowing exactly what to memorize and, more importantly, how to memorize. I want you to think about your prep as falling into two different buckets, okay? In the exact memorization bucket, you've got all stuff. There are article numbers, there are section numbers, there are case names. Things are like in black or white. You either know it or you don't know. But then you have the conceptual clarity bucket. This is where you find things like procedural differences, the legal principles. And for this stuff, just memorizing a definition is going to get you into real trouble. Believe me. You have to understand this why. So, for the first bucket, the memorization stuff, please don't just try to brute force it by starting at a textbook and just staring it for hours. That's going to be no good. There are much smarter ways. Yes, there are much smarter ways to make things sticking like the little brain hacks. Let me show you. Let me give you a classic one example which works like a charm. Check this out. The phrase. Are you listening? The phrase. Free CC. Very simple, right? But this little mnemonics, you've just organized the 6 fundamental rights: freedom, religion, equality, exploitation, cultural, and of course, the constitutional remedies. Yes, the 6 rights organized into free CC. Just like that, you have a mental map for Article 12 to Article 32 of the Indian Constitution. One of the most critical parts of the entire Constitution and one of the most favorite part of the examiner. Every year you have multiple questions. Isn't it very simple? Isn't it very powerful? And hey, these little tricks aren't just a big list. You can actually use them for some, individual specific articles also. Do you want me to give you an example? Just like Article 124 of the Constitution, Article 124 establishes the Supreme Court. How do you look that number? Just break it down. 1, 2, 4 is equal to Supreme Court. Think of this number, this very specific number, as there's one Supreme Court and that Supreme Court is for you. 1, 2, 4. I know it is silly. It is very funny. But that's exactly why it will work every single time. Because let me tell you, when you are under pressure, the most funny and the most silly things are the ones you will always remember. So for tricks, go the silly way. That's right. So we have handled this memorization bucket. But like I said, that's only half the job. Now you have to move to the second pillar, the part that really requires you to think. And that's winning your concepts, getting clarity on the concepts, understanding the core legal areas. This is about clarity. It is not about memorizing. It is not about cramming things. You want to know one of the examiner's favorite moves? I'll tell you. They love to take two legal concepts that sound almost identical but have a totally different procedure or consequence. This is where they actually catch the students who have just memorized the definitions. And this is where your deep conceptual understanding becomes your shield against losing mark. That is what is all Surya Law Academy about. We will clarify each and every concept. I'll give an example. For example, cognizable versus non-cognizable offenses. You can memorize the definition, but It all boils down to this. For a serious, cognizable crime, the police can arrest someone right there and then. There's just no warrant needed. But for a less serious issue, non-cognizable crime, they must get a warrant first. That one procedural difference is a classic exam trap and one of the Punjab University examiner's favorite. And knowing it cold is what protects your score. And then you see something like this. I know the Latin phrases, they look intimidating, right? But forget the Latin for a second. Just look at the phrase, understand the principles, the concepts, the idea behind that. It is actually pretty simple. And it's the foundation for almost all the criminal law in India. It just means that for a crime to have happened, you need two things. And just give an example. You just need two things. A wrongful act and a guilty mind. So you have to understand the concepts. For a crime to happen, you need both these things, a wrongful act and a guilty mind. And this isn't just a fact to memorize. It's a mental tool. You have to apply to every crime-related question which the examiner is going to throw at you. So, you have your memorization bucket. The concept bucket is also now filled, and now it's time for the final stage. Taking all the knowledge and executing all these concepts under pressure is a high-stake MCQ battle where every single mistake that's going to cost you points. You absolutely need a toolkit for this. I'll be sharing my toolkit with you. First up, the elimination process. The second you rule out two obviously wrong options, you have just doubled your chances of getting the right answer. Do it every single time when you attempt your MCQ questions. Next, you have to spot the trap. Yes, the examiner will set a trap for you in every single question. You will see words like always, never. Whenever you see these words, an alarm bell should ring in your mind. You have to be suspicious. And third toolkit, time management, people. Yes, it's very important. Don't let that one hard question sink your entire section. And for even sake, I've seen sinking your entire paper. Just mark that question and move on. Come back if you have time for that question, because one question is 1 mark, but that 1 mark is going to affect the entire paper. And finally, my golden rule. Only guess if you can eliminate at least 2 options. Otherwise, just leave it. Do not take risk. It is better to get a 0 than to actually lose 0.25, because that's going to affect your rank, your merit, your score. And for those super tricky principal fact questions, you have a secret weapon. Yes, I have the IRAC method. Now what's that? It's a simple 4-step system to prevent you from getting overwhelmed. First, you have to identify the issue. Then, find out the rule which they have given you in the question. Then, you have to apply that rule to the story which is provided to you. And finally, you have to draw your own conclusion. IRAC. It turns a confusing mess into a clear logical path to a correct answer. So I leave you with this final thought. Cracking the PU Law exam isn't about who studies the most hours. I know you don't have time, your boards are going on. It's about who has a plan, who understands the game, and who is the one who executes a smart strategy. So the real question you need to ask yourself today, yes, are you just going to study hard, or are you going to study smart? Thank you.